Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Expressions Podcast. Your host, Chris, and today I'm super fucking excited because I'm joined by not only one of my favorite producers ever, but someone who's helped pioneer the new wave of the underground we see today and has unquestionably massively impacted the culture. If you listen to this podcast, you will 100% know who this man is. I'm joined by the one and only 16. Yes, 16.
Good.
16, welcome
What's
to the
good,
show, man.
y'all?
How are you?
I'm good, bro. Happy to be on. Happy to
Happy to
be
have you here, man. Really, really. So, 16, you're a legend in the making right now. There's no doubt about this. And again, so excited to have you on. Really an honor. So, just let's start here. Where are you from, man? Where is 16 from?
I'm from Belgium, um, from a small town, like a small town in Belgium. Not too big, not too much going on. Just grew up here and born and raised here. Yeah.
Beautiful. It's actually interesting because, like, an episode before this, with depending on when another one drops, but the episode or two episodes before this, I just had a producer's name's Lamp. Just started out coming up really crazy. He's actually from Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Obviously right below Belgium. So
Yeah.
what's going on over there in that part of Europe, I guess? Like how did you originally tap into this side of the underground, making music with guys like, I'll get into that, but Thrax, Dom Corleo, Southside Silhouette, etc. How'd you get it just even tapped in over here? Because I find
Um,
that to be interesting, especially coming from Belgium.
I think it's just looking for authenticity and looking for creativity and
Mm,
originality.
mm,
I think it stems from there
mm-hmm,
because if you look at the underground, it's a bunch of people who do what they want,
mm,
and it's just very interesting to me.
mm.
Yeah, it's just very interesting space to me. I
Yeah.
think that's why I got into this space.
Mm. I like what you said though, the authenticity, just the realness and being able to just pioneer, create your own sound because something we will talk about, and I'm gonna ask you about a little bit later on, but um when I first heard you and really started tap in is you were definitely making a shit ton of music with 4ET, all those guys,
Yeah,
Thrax, like I mentioned, Southside Silhouette, Dior versus you, Skate, and they're definitely pioneered their own wave. And when I think of 16 beats, I definitely think of that authenticity. I've never heard some shit like this when I hear that 16 beat. Um, so what I'm gonna ask you though is the name 16, where does that come from? And also the two tags, the girl with the little laugh and then 16, and I think it's one of the greatest tags I ever heard in the history of tags. J'adore 16, which, if I'm not mistaken, through my research, is French for it's either I love or I really likes, but I'm assuming you're
yeah,
doing I love 16.
yes.
Where does 16, where does the name come from in the tag? Specifically J'adore, because that shit is perfect. Like it's actually perfect.
Okay, so the name, it really just happened because I was recording some music with an old friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I just turned 16
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have a name back then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I used to go by a name that's really, really corny.
Come on, what was it? You could give it to the
So
audience.
yeah,
We
it
all
was
have humble beginnings.
at first I was called like Daizira,
Die
but
zero.
but I just found it like too robotic.
Yeah.
It's like die zero, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I was like, nah, that's not me. But then, like, I don't know, my friend just called me 16. And I was just like, damn, this is kind of hard.
Yeah.
So I went with it. I was into angel numbers back then, and it
Hmm.
resonated with me.
Hmm.
I forgot what it was, but it resonated with me, and I was like, yeah, I'm just be 16.
16.
I stick with it. As far as the tag, like 16, haha, that was just like I don't know, a random girl. I was on with Discord. She used to, I don't know if she makes music right now, but she used to make music and she hopped on a beat of mine and she just started singing like 16, ha ha ha. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is hard. I'm gonna use this.
Yeah.
Um, and J'adore 16, like that's actually me. Like
No way. I
like
never would have thought that.
Yeah, bro. It's like I had a French assignment and I had to sum up things which I liked.
Mm,
I don't know, I just wanted to sum up some things. I was like, J'adore 16. And
wow.
boom, I recorded it and I was on a call with my friend, Daisy, and I was playing the video to edit it a bit. He was like, "Damn, play it back." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm gonna play it back." And he was like, "Yo, this is hard. You need to use this for a tag." I
Yeah.
was like, "But I'm gonna use it." And then it sounded quite hard, so I stick with it.
Wow, I think you might be the first producer ever to make an iconic tag with actually your own voice. I feel like that is about as rare as it gets, and wow, J'adore 16. It's iconic. I want to let you know it's iconic. It really is iconic.
Thank you.
Of course, bro. So talked a little bit about tag, a little about your beginnings in Belgium, but take us all the way to the beginning. How did you first start making music? What inspired you to say, "Hey, I'm gonna start making beats. I'm gonna hop into whatever it was, GarageBand, maybe FL, whatever it may be."
Mm.
What started that all for you?
So my father is a musician,
Mm,
so I think like even since and even like my whole father's side, they kind of all make music. So I think that's where it really started. And also when I was younger, when I like around 6 to 8, like I used to come home and I had this computer and I just used to listen to music once I got
mm,
home. So I think it started really young, like me showing interest in music.
mm-hmm,
And then once I found out that you could make beats, I really, yeah, I just kind of like fell in love with it and I wanted to do it instantly. And boom, yeah, the typical downloaded it on my mother's laptop and just started making beats on demo, recording them, thinking they hard as hell, but they kind of like ass. But yeah, just it came out from there. Uh,
So, mhm. So your father, very musically inclined, it seems. Going home every day after school, listening to music. What were you listening to at that time when you were younger, before you kind of started out? What was in the rotation at that point, if you can remember?
Definitely like pop, like Ed Sheeran.
Hell yeah.
He liked Ed Sheeran.
Yep.
Um, like some songs of Justin Timberlake, like very mainstreamish pop,
Yeah.
and I'd say Michael Jackson, yeah, like the big album,
Yeah.
like
Hmm.
big songs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, all absolutely phenomenal music. Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
love Ed Sheeran. I love Justin Timberlake. I love Michael Jackson. Timeless, timeless music right there. Um, so I love that. Just music has always been in your blood. It's always been a part of your life. So what I'm gonna do right now, 16, is I'm gonna give you a
Mm.
resume. Okay. For the
Okay.
people out there who's clicked on this interview, they know who you are and everything. But for the people who, if they maybe been living under a rock and don't know who you are at
Mm.
this point, especially if you're listening to this. So let's start off. First of all, Dom Corleo, Penthouse Shorty, like
Mm.
viral breakout hit. We're gonna dive in a little bit more into that, but 6.7 million plays on SoundCloud. I went on TikTok. The video, the hashtag Penthouse Shorty has 1.2
Yeah.
million views on it. There's all different iterations of like a rock Penthouse Shorty, different shit, like ridiculous. You've been locked in with Dom more than just Penthouse Shorty though. Bloody Runs, Party Girls, Kids on his new album Omo, Ginseng, obviously, and a lot of these songs, a lot of fucking videos to him too, which is even more
Yeah.
insane. Uh,
Shout out to
ridiculous.
him.
Young Fazo, you had Motion on one of his newer tapes with Dom, which was crazy. Another fire song I found with Fazo was Blue, but that's not out
Mm.
yet by Fazo. It's on, I think, like Zoe on SoundCloud, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Lifeless Garments, Dark
Mm.
Vader, 500,000 streams with Thrax. That's
Yeah.
Cool, 200,000 streams. One of my favorite songs of all time is That's Cool by Lifeless Garments.
Yeah.
Um, Cancer on Train to Kill that just dropped. One of the
Mm.
most unique, like, I can't explain that beat. You really can't explain what that beat is or anything like. I've never heard anything like it. It's hard to
Love
describe it.
that. I love that
Beautiful.
song.
beautiful. Thrax, you bring the best out of Rolling Thrax, in my opinion. Out of like all the producers you work with, your top three with Thrax. Work, 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 never too much. The
Mm.
one on Honcho's page, if you remember that one, is the craziest,
Yeah, yeah,
crazy sweet. I feel like I'm walking through Paris when I hear that for whatever reason. Like I feel
bro.
like I'm in a whole other planet. Uh Southside Silhouette, It's Not Over, Road
Yeah.
Trip, My Year, fucking incredible song. Two crazy songs with two of my favorite Zodiac songs, Blood Rain and Toxic. Absolutely
Oh
love.
yeah, yeah.
Crazy hits with Skate Star, Until Japan. You have that Rich Amiri SSG Kobe song I love. One of the greatest songs ever too is Geek Up by Metro XO. You and Hey Jasper. The
Oh
switch,
yeah,
the beat switch
yeah,
is like one of the it's
yeah,
yeah, it's one of the greatest beat switches I ever
yeah,
heard
yeah,
in my life.
yeah.
It's hard to it's really hard to put into scope because for me, right, I've been listening to you for probably like 2 years now, and now you have tens of millions of streams across all different platforms. Like even the penthouse shorty instrumental on your SoundCloud page on like your Spotify has like over 15,000 plays. Like you're
Yeah.
everywhere. Everyone is like to me at least at this point J'adore 16 or your other tag, like it's iconic. It to me, it's like when I hear Wake Up Filthy, when I hear Benny X, when I hear some of these like I think iconic underground tags and now that have become mainstream, you're right next up. Like tens of
Mm.
millions of streams, everyone's tapped in, everyone loves what you do, the music you make. So the question I love to ask is what does that feel like, man? What does it feel like to have all this just success, all this praise to say, wow, dude, like you're in a whole different level right now. What does that feel? Just walk us through that.
Be honest, to be honest, it doesn't feel like anything. I'll be very honest. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, but I do appreciate, like, let's say, like people like you, when I talk to someone like person to person,
Mm-hmm,
I do appreciate like them showing love. Like that does feel, yeah, that does feel good. Like
mm-hmm,
when you talk to someone and he's like, yo, this beat is hard.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that feels genuinely good. But as far as the praise on the internet, like, yeah, it's pretty empty. Like to me at least,
Yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's just something and don't feel anything of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm not talking like, oh, like the praise, like everyone's just like trying to hop on your shit, like, yo, da da da, like being all crazy, just from a point of like people appreciating and recognizing your art, right? From that
mm,
perspective, the fact that people are like saying, "Wow!" Again, Penthouse Shorty. It's that beat is it's perfect. Like it's a perfect beat. It's a perfect song. Like you're not
yeah,
you're creating something that is it's deeper than just like the music and the art. Like it's impacting people's lives on the daily. Like I keep bringing up Penna Shorty, and there's so many other songs I could talk about, but just that it's like a viral hit. Like you've impacted in like millions, hundreds of thousands of millions of people's lives globally. Making when they hear that beat, it makes them feel something, whether it's better, energized, excited. Like you're
mm,
creating those feelings within like a human being. Like to me, that's incredible. So what is
yeah.
that? I guess more so that's a better question. What does that do anything for you actually? Yeah.
Mm, yeah. At first, I want to say as well, shout out to Incento.
No, of course. We're gonna talk about Insanto too, of course.
Oh, so how does that feel? I'm be very honest. I don't know what it is. Like
Mm,
when I used to like kind of like think of things like that, like okay, damn, I want to have this impact on people. I want to do this, and then I'm gonna feel great and boom, boom, boom. At first I thought it will be like that as well. Like
mm-hmm,
damn, it would be a crazy feeling. But nah, to me, I'm very honest. I don't really I'm appreciated.
yeah, of
I'm
course, of
happy.
course.
I'm happy with it. Um, yeah, I'm just happy with it. I don't
Mm-hmm,
really, it doesn't bring me anything crazy.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I'm definitely happy with it for sure.
mm-hmm,
It's just, yeah, it's just with me with music, I just love making it, you see?
Hmm.
And that was really happy to it, happy
Hmm.
for me. That's what makes me happy. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. And I
Yeah, no.
think
Hmm.
maybe I think me, I'm not really that connected with those beats or those that music. Like
Yeah.
maybe I'm kind of like have grown out of it,
Mm.
but I'm still very appreciative. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that. I'm
No, no,
very
no.
appreciative. Yeah.
I love, first of all, I love your honesty. And I think there's something really interesting. I think there's some really positive to take from what you said, which is a lot of really great things that come in life is from someone doing something that they love and expecting nothing in return. And I
Mhm.
think for you, I think you fit that bill perfectly where you've just been making this music because you love it. And a byproduct of that is you happen to create a viral hit that goes basically global and goes ballistic
Mhm.
everywhere. You've happened to create so many songs that I would consider in the past 2, 3 years, whatever maybe, my favorite songs like I've heard, right? And given me your production has given me so much like joy out of my life, really. And it's just a byproduct because of the person making it is making it just because they love it. You're not looking for a stream or a placement or anything like that. You're just
Yeah.
making music for the sake of making music. I think that's fucking beautiful. I think that's a great answer, though, personally. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's all nice to see all the glitz and the glam and the numbers and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you could hate your life and hate the music you're making too, you know? But at the end
True.
of the day, as long as you love it, I think that's the most positive thing that I think we're gonna continue to get. Some of the
True.
greatest 16 beats we'll see going further on. And I also like what you said too. It's almost like you've grown out of that phase, right? That music just doesn't, it's not the same to you because it's just at a different point in life, right? Where like
Yeah.
penthouse shorty, it's like a year ago today. It was like last summer, right?
True.
Yeah,
True.
right. So you're a different person a year ago. Like me a year ago, I'm a completely different fucking person, let alone 3 years ago, let alone five.
Yeah.
I'm unrecognizable to myself 5 years ago, you know?
That's how
So
it is. Real.
exactly. So it's real. It really is real, but incredible. So something I kind of want to transition to now is I want to talk a little bit more about 4ET because that's when I really
Mm.
first found you. How'd you originally tap in with guys like Thrax, with Southside, with Skate, with Dior? Um, and I really do think some of the best 4ET music is on a 16 beat, really. A lot of my favorite 4ET songs. So how'd you originally tap in with them? How did that all happen?
So first, I think this is around like so first someone sent me a song of them in
Mm,
my Discords. This was like maybe 2 years back or something. And I just heard them and I was like, yo, these guys are hard as hell. It
yeah.
was both Southside and Tracks.
Mm,
Like, these guys are hard as hell. So I was like trying to tap in with them.
mm,
And they were small, like maybe 250 followers.
mm-hmm.
And boom, I DM'd them, but they never like replied. So I was like, okay, okay. But then I kind
Happens.
of like, yeah, it happens. And the beats were maybe kind of ass as well. No, but then I just like kind of forgot about it. And then someone tags me in their story, and it's might be John, another producer. And he's
Legends,
like,
legends.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he's a bro, he's one of one for sure.
legends.
Um, but yeah, he tagged me, being like, yo, this beat is hard as hell. It was a song I produced back then. I was like, yo, thank you. I start talking with him. And I see like that he has placements with those guys, like Southside
Mm,
Silhouette, Rolling Tracks. Like, bro, how did you tap in with them? Like, they didn't even respond to me. And he was like, yo, yeah, I know I just sent it beats. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And then boom, I start listening to them again. I'm like, yo, these guys are hard. Like, I want to work with them for real. I want to, I don't know, build something.
mm-hmm.
Boom, I see Rolling Tracks emailing his SoundCloud. I just started sending beats. Might be John vouch for me as well. And then kept sending beats, and then Never Too Much came. And from then on, it was just kind of a snowball effect.
Mm.
Like once Tracks started hopping on my beats, then Southside started hopping on my beats, and then it kind of like,
Then yeah.
yeah. So yeah, man. That's
So first off, shout out Might Be John for that because he
Yeah,
really blessed us with a lot of music right there. Huge connection.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What about like Thrax and Southside? What about when you first heard them just click for you? Because I had that similar thing when I heard them. You're just like, it's just different. It's just different, right? What was
Yeah.
when you heard them? What about them made you be like, I need to get something in with them?
To me, it was, I don't know, I just like, especially back then, I didn't really hear something. I didn't really hear something like that back
Mhm.
then from someone else. And it was also the, like, how quote unquote small they were,
Mhm.
how good their music was,
Yep.
how they like carried themselves. Like, it was very professional, and I had a feeling as if like these guys know what they are doing, and these guys want to build the sounds.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like, yeah, that's why I was very like attracted
Yeah.
to work with them.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly put. Because when I first tapped into them and then I really just dove into their whole discography, all of them, even in hard rock as well. I know he's not really like 4ET now, like known as he's kind of like his own entity, I feel like now, but back in the day, he's definitely like that was they were all together. And if you go back to like the earliest songs they have, professional. They know what they were doing. It seems like everything was like they have songs from so long ago that I'm like this could come out today and do numbers, and you don't really see that with a lot of artists because usually, at least from my perspective, I see like development, I see growth, and from them it's like from day one, like they were just firing on all cylinders sort of a thing, and all the success they've had to date completely well deserved. Completely well deserved. I couldn't
True.
I couldn't agree more. I like how you put that though. So someone that you mentioned a little bit before, and now I want to bring up Insanto.
Yeah.
16 and Insanto is a combination that just works. It is just like a match made in heaven. Insanto, similarly to you guys are definitely a little bit more low key guys. You don't
Mm,
see you out and about posting all the times. You're very to yourselves, and like you guys are very specific about, and especially at this point, very specific about who you're making beats with, who you're making songs with, and shit like that, which I really, really
yeah.
appreciate because everything is just that much better to me.
Mm.
Um, Talk about your relationship with Insanto. Obviously, you and him are the two-headed snake that created Penthouse Shorty, and a bunch of other songs, most notably for me, like I said before, That's Cool, which I think is like one of the best beats and songs ever made. Uh, I go on and on about that, but talk about your relationship with Insanto. How'd you guys originally link, and what can you say about obviously a guy who is through the fucking roof talented?
Okay, so like we actually go kind of way back.
Hmm.
So Santo was another producer who was like popping in this like rolling track Southside lane.
Yep.
So I was like kind of like I was at first I was a fan of him. I was like, damn, I want to work with him. Like he was like I thought I was kind of low key, but this guy was low key, low key. Like he had some good placements, didn't post anything on his page, didn't have any links, and I was like, damn, this guy's just cool as hell. Like I want to work with him.
Mm.
So I hit him up, trying to work with him. He hit me back. I was happy. Then we started from there, like making a couple beats here and there. Um, and then I went on a trip to Portugal, and I knew he was from there.
Okay,
So
he's Portuguese. I did not know that.
yeah, he's
Okay, very,
Portuguese.
very, very cool.
Very cool. So I hit him up like, yo, I'm in Portugal, like maybe let's link. And then like he was down, so I went to his house, and there we cooked up. And then from there on, like it was we already had a very good
Mm.
what relationship.
Chemistry, like a
Yeah,
chemistry relationship.
chemistry,
Yep.
yeah, exactly. So and that was even before Penthouse Shorty,
Hmm.
like
Yeah. No,
couple of years back.
you guys been locked in for a long time from my
Yeah,
perspective, it seems.
yeah, 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 yeah.
What do you think? What about his approach to making beats and making music and your approach, what makes it work so well? How are you guys like you to me it almost like you two have like this telepathic communication. Like you just look at each other and like you're communicating through your minds. Like you just know like he plays a loop or he plays like some drums and you guys just know like this is like yeah, this is it. Like how has it gotten to that point? Is it just from day one like oh yeah, we're just on the same page?
Oh, I don't know. I wonder that myself. It's just like I just I don't know. Like let's say we make a beat, right? Like he'll do something what I don't expect.
Mm,
And that's what I like about music when people do things which I didn't expect.
mm,
Like he just catches me off guard like all the time.
mm-hmm.
And it just makes me excited, like, yo, like he just did this. Damn, and now I have an idea and
Yeah,
it just constantly flowing. Like a lot of beats that you summed up have been made in real life,
yeah.
which have been one of our best beats ever.
Wow.
Just uh,
That's
like for
amazing.
example, like the beat from Blood Rain, right? One of my favorite beats. Like that story is kind of hard. Like I linked it with Insanto. Like I stayed with him for a couple of days, and then I had to catch my flights. But we had some time left, and we were like, yeah, let's cook something up. And then we made that beat right before my flight, and then we went to the airport. So yeah, I have a
Yeah,
lot of with this guy.
the Blood Rain beat is fucking insane. The drums on that shit, bro, like it's just insane. It's like it's an experience that beat. So something you said too, I'm just interested in, cooking up in person. Do you feel like it's valuable to have another prod in there, like, because obviously in Belgium, I can't say I know much about the Belgium underground scene. Unfortunately, I don't think there's that much going on. There
There's
may
not
be,
much
not
to
to
know.
misspeak.
There's not much to know.
Um, but I'd say similarly with Portugal. I'd imagine too. I don't know any like underground guys. At least in this realm, of course. There's obviously people that make music everywhere.
Mm.
So for someone like you who is not in like one of like Atlanta or LA where all these guys seem to be, what is it like, and what's the value of being able to go in and actually cook up with someone physically, right? What is the value of that to you?
I think it's very, very good and
Mm-hmm.
very like if you cook up a lot alone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you cook up with someone else who is valuable and who is good at what they do,
Mm-hmm.
then in my opinion, it can be magical because sometimes it just takes like this one thing that you see from someone else or this one thing that he does, what you don't do,
Mm-hmm.
which you can implement in your sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's very good cooking up with other people, because yeah, everyone is different and you can learn something from
Mm-hmm.
every person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's very valuable for
Yeah,
sure.
no, I completely agree. I think when you're able to actually physically be with someone, like the energy is different, just the
Mm.
feelings are different, the vibe is different, everything is just it's just almost like a different world opposed to just cooking up by yourself, like over your computer, whatever you're doing. So shout out to Insanto for you two cooking up in person all the time. Hopefully we get to see more of that. Shout out Portugal as well. I don't know anyone else from Portugal doing this shit or Belgium. So uh and this transitions perfectly into Dom Corleo. So
Yeah,
you and Dom Corleo, in my opinion, you've been responsible for completely just changing his career, right, and his trajectory of his career with your beats, really, and Santo as well. Dom, for people who tapped into the underground, like I've been aware of Dom Corleo for a minute now. Like when he used to make songs with like Fago, like 3-4 years ago now. Shout out to Fago. I don't think I've ever said his name on this pod. I love
yeah.
Fago. So I've definitely been aware of Dom, but ever since he tapped in with yourself, 16, his career has just gone ballistic, completely insane. Obviously, you and Insanto on Penthouse Shorty. I mean, yeah, I gave the numbers already, but tens of millions of streams across all platforms. There's people everywhere in this country listening to Penthouse Shorty. Like it's a viral hit. Um, Bloody Runts, fucking
Yeah.
ginseng, over 1 million streams. Obviously, the iconic ginseng strip 2002 sample from the great Young Lean. Um, what else do you have? What else do you have with Dom that I have here? Oh, Party Girls.
Mm,
For it. Amazing song. On God, Trap Essay, like
yeah.
yeah, so it really has just been insane. So could you just talk about your relationship with Dom? How did he, how did you guys link up originally? Really?
Mm.
Did he hit you up? How did that all happen?
Okay, so it was just like one day I woke up and like Dom hit me with On God, like the song On God.
Yeah.
He made on a beat that was on a Santos YouTube, and he hit me up, and then I was like, yo, like yeah, let's work, like the typical here and there, send more beats, and then we just went from there. Like honestly, it just happens.
Mm,
Pretty naturally, and then yeah, it just clicked the way we made music, I'd
mm,
say. And yeah, he had the right vision with it, and
mm,
he put it out in the right way, the right creative
mm.
direction, the right videos, locked in with the right people. So yeah, that's how it all started.
Hmm. Yeah, and I completely agree. I think obviously, your beats have just like I said transcended his career, but I think his artistic direction where he's going, obviously, he has the music video Penthouse Shorty, but also has a music video to Party Girls to Bloody Runs, like a lot of your music, and I think he executed that so well. Obviously, Dom's fire, uh
Yeah.
he makes good music. Like a lot, I know some people have like their mixed opinions on him and whatever, but when it comes to strictly Don Corleo 16, it's a hit. Like it's guaranteed a hit. So something that we've obviously brought up a bunch of times now, even before this, before we even started recording, right? Penna Shorty, you and Dom Corleo and Insanto, you
Mm.
have a generational underground hit, like generational, like Penthouse Shorty, and you're a very humble guy, 16. You're a very humble guy, and I appreciate that about you. I really do. But like this shit is just different, bro. What is it like though for you guys all to link up? Did you ever think something like that would come from it? Like a generational hit. Like this is going to last for years and years. Everyone's gonna remember this, right? Like
Mm.
again, almost 10 million plays in a year. That's
Yeah.
on SoundCloud. That's
Yeah.
insane. For example, Ginseng Strip has like 21 million plays, for example.
Down.
Think about it.
Down.
If you're on the same trajectory, that'll be blown past there. I just think it's interesting, of course.
Down.
So what is
Never
what is
thought about it that way.
nah, it's
Wow.
because it's super interesting to me. So what does that feel like to have that impact, to have your sound kind of paved the way for this new wave? Because Dom Corleo is someone who's leading that new gen wave that's coming right now into the mainstream. What does it feel like to have an impact on the culture like that as a whole? Because that's a culturally impact, like that song impacts the culture heavily. What can you say,
Yeah.
man?
To be honest, it feels the like it feels good what comes with it, you see?
Mm,
Because of that song, I was able to travel, to meet new people, to work with
mm,
new people. So I think what comes with it is really, for me, is what really is beautiful. And as far as impacting the culture, it's how is it? It's something that I always wanted to do. Like
mm,
it always was my goal.
mm,
And it's I don't know, it's like it has good sides and it has like I don't know, some kind of like quote unquote bad sides. I
no,
don't know.
listen. There's positive and negatives to every
Yeah,
little thing that in this world,
yeah,
trade-offs, right?
yeah, man.
What
It's
would you
it's
say is like the negative from having a viral, like crazy, insane hit like that?
mm,
Because it's real. Again, trade-offs to everything. It's not like you're being like ungrateful either. So don't
yeah,
make it
yeah,
seem to come
yeah.
across as like that. But it's true. What would you say is like a negative from that? Because that is interesting.
I don't know. To be honest, I just think that people implemented it wrong.
Mm,
I think like people took it like especially like on the beat side, people just took it the wrong way. Like
yeah.
that's yeah, that's how I really feel.
Like the wrong way. Like how so? Could you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, to be honest, people, I don't know, maybe like people think I sample and everything, but it's not really like, I don't know, I just made
Not
it
a
from,
sam. It's not. Yeah. There's no sample
yeah,
in the beat, right?
yeah, it's not a sample and it's like, I don't know, I feel like they miss the artistic sides a bit.
Yeah, it's funny you said that because before this, when I was doing research for this one, I'm going through like the YouTube comments of the penthouse shorty video, and
Yeah.
everyone like 85% of the comments are about the beat, like 85 to
Oh,
90%. Seriously, it's insane. And again, the
yeah.
video that has 1.5 million views, and everything, and a lot of the comments are, uh the samples are perfect. Like the sample's perfect. And like a lot about the sample the beat.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what he's sampling. And I thought I was missing something because everyone just agreed on it. But nah, I was fucking
Yeah, like
it's
someone
psyop
decided that
on
it was
YouTube.
sample, but
Yeah,
it's
no,
cool. It's cool. And the
no,
people
again, it's cool. But I really
yeah.
do appreciate that how that's how you look at the negative side because you feel like they're not seeing your art. And I think that goes all back to that where we started was like that authenticity, right? Like how you
Yeah.
just make music for the love of making music and you just want to be recognized for the art like that. So again, I absolutely love that. You'd agree with that?
Exactly, and exactly what you said. Like, I think some of like my best music as far as like me producing for other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it goes back from what you said, like at first with rolling tracks, outside silhouette, you see? And I
Mm-hmm.
think maybe like, but it's whatever, but I think some people look over that.
Mm,
And that is, in my opinion, some of the best, like unique music and raw music made from that time.
mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, yeah. But as far as the positives though, it's cool, bro. You see, it's happy. Like I'm
Yeah.
happy. I learned a lot from it. I learned how to move. I learned how it is like to go like from not too many people wanting to work with you, from all of a sudden like
Every,
everybody wanted to work with you.
everybody in the fucking world wants to work with you, I imagine.
Yeah, so but then like yeah, but then like less people wanting to work with you. So it's
Mm,
like I've learned a lot from it and it was a good experience.
mm,
I think it's yeah, it's definitely a positive, you see. It's always good to have new experiences in life
I
and
agree.
that was definitely a new experience for me.
I agree. You said something though. You were able to travel, like meet new people, work with new people. Can you give us a little insight into what was going on?
Uh,
I know, like you probably there might be things you can't say. I don't know if you've been working with someone you can't really talk about yet or anything, but any insight to what was going on as a result of that of Penn Shorty?
Yeah, I think like as exactly as you said, like that started everything, right?
Yeah.
So let's say something goes on in, let's say Amsterdam, or even like in Belgium, like I have some people who know about it from here as well, and it's like now you can go in those rooms. Now I can
Mm,
go like maybe like I went to LA like a couple months back.
mm,
Like I'm able to go to LA, and it's yeah, it's of course not all from only that song, but yeah, like the traveling, the meeting new people,
yeah.
like being in new rooms and seeing different cultures, how people in the US do it, how people in Portugal do it, how people in
Mhm,
the Netherlands do it. It's like so much to learn from every single
yeah.
one, from every single culture, and
Yeah.
that really makes your life richer, you see?
Mm,
Makes your personality like bigger than it was,
yeah.
like you're building your character. And that's what really is beautiful, especially in music where everyone is just authentic and everyone is just himself.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's really beautiful about it.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly worded right there. I think it's so something that's so important is, to continue to build yourself, to continue to learn about yourself and to just I guess the best way to describe it is, you're as a human being, like you're the sculptor of your own self, right?
Yeah.
And the experiences that you go through in life are indicative to who you become and how you act and the things you think, the things you say. So those trips to LA, to Amsterdam, all over Belgium, beautiful Brussels or Antwerp or something. You see a little geography right there for the people. Uh so important. What was LA like? First time in the States?
Nah, not the first time, but yeah, it was definitely first time in the States, like city-wise. Like before, like I was young and it was a vacation on like the forest and stuff from the
The,
States, the
the
States.
forest.
bro.
worse than the United States.
Uh, which
Uh,
was which was pretty cool. I'm not
mm,
gonna
mm,
but LA, to be honest, bro, like being from Europe
mm,
wasn't like it's very like it's very easy to connect though. It's very easy to connect. Like you go in a studio and there are like five people like there, and then it's like boom, those five people can bring you there. So
mm,
it's very easy to connect, but I feel like it's also easy to lose yourself
mm,
because you can get caught up and it's hard to spend time with yourself out there and think
mm.
about how you feel, and yeah, it just goes quick out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So
No, it's fast. I definitely think that, talking to obviously a lot of people in the States here, but also getting the opportunity to talk to people internationally, Europe, the Middle East, fucking Australia, New Zealand, anywhere in the world, like
mm,
definitely is a just difference of culture, right? You talk about the speed and the pace of the United States, which is real, where I think a lot more other places it's laid back, people are more grounded, more in
yeah,
life more. They're more in life more, where I feel like in the States, it's always about what's next, what's next, what's next. And I feel like
yeah,
people need to just slow it
calm,
down a little bit, calm
relax.
it down, slow it down a little bit. That's all. That's all. And smell the flowers, right? Appreciate what you're looking at for a second. So obviously you're in that mind state, which is so important. 16. Something that I'm so curious about is I really feel like you're able to bring out the best in whatever artist you work with, especially when you're making beats specifically like for them, if that's how you approach it. I think to me, at least from the outside looking, I feel like when Dom's like, yo, send me a pack, like you're just thinking of Dom Corleo and you're thinking like, how can I bring the best out of him? Would you say that's accurate? Same with like Thrax and Southside and all these other guys, Lifeless. Like to me, you get the best out of your artist. So like how do you do it? How do you do that? How do you do that? Is my question. I don't know how to ask it better because I really feel like you do. Do you feel like that?
Um, shit, I just let my work speak, and I appreciate you, but I'd say it comes from like me. I'm always very what's it called? Very critical. Like let's say like how I used to feel, and even like now, like how I feel like let's say if a song didn't do well, or if I feel like there were like boring parts in a song, like I would say like it was my fault.
Mm,
So it's like whenever I had a placement, I was always looking for things like what did I do wrong? What could I done? What could I do better next time? Like that's always what I would look for. And I would nearly, I would be looking at the good things as well, but mainly at the things which can be better for next time.
mm,
And I think that's where like me, like yeah, that's where it comes from, to be honest.
mm,
And just understanding like artists, like some people just need a calm beat, and some
mm.
people need a beat with a lot of things going on or things like that.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. No,
And
yeah.
and to be honest, I think it also comes from knowing myself, you see. It's like knowing my own sounds. And when you catch people off guard, when you just simply do things in music which people don't expect, like they'll always be in some way flabbergasted. Like they'll
Mm,
always be off balance. Like,
yeah,
oh damn, what just happened?
yeah,
And
yeah,
when you have an artist like going well over it, like flowing over it, then it just like it goes hand in hand.
yeah.
I think it's mainly those things.
Mm. Yeah, no, I really like how you put that there though, but I appreciate, you being critical on yourself though, looking at yourself saying, how can I get better? How can I continue to like push myself and evolve my sound? I appreciate that because you got to do the work, man. You got to do the work. A lot of people are curious. And I'm going to ask you too at one point, a little bit in a few minutes probably, but a lot of people are wondering, especially producers or even artists, honestly, how do I get to 16s level? And you got to do the work. You got to be able to look at yourself. How can I get better every day? So I really fuck.
Yeah, and it's also about working smart. You see, like
Mm-hmm.
you can make 10 beats a day, but if you don't change up the way how you work, the way that you approach things, those 10 beats a day will always be the same 10 beats, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. As
Mm-hmm.
well as like if you actually sometimes slow down on the things that you're doing and actually think like, okay, I'm going to make a beat and I'm gonna try this or change things up. And it's the most important thing, like fail. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to be open to fail because failing is a sign that you're trying new things, like you're getting out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever that happens, yeah, it's in a way it's the best thing ever, you see. Like you have to work hard, but work smart as well.
Mm-hmm.
Making 10 beats, that 10 the same beats a day.
Mm-hmm.
So see how you approach it.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. Trial and error, trial and error. It's funny
Mhm.
because my next question is I'm curious, what goes into a 16 cookup, right? When you go into a session about to produce, what goes into that? What sort of mode you need to be in? And it's funny because um you do have a video on YouTube of you going over how you made bloody runs and almost 10,000 views, which is pretty crazy. I was watching that, and it's actually funny because in the comments during like when you were live streaming it, someone's like 16, like how did you like get here? Like how are you making this? Da, da, da. And you literally said trial and error, just like succeed and something along the lines like that. And
Yeah.
obviously speaking it again here on the podcast. Yeah, the importance of trial and error. It's so important to push yourself. If you're not failing, you're not pushing yourself enough. Simply put, you only get better by failing. Like it's funny. It's really ironic life, right? You only get better at something by being shit at it for an extended
Yeah.
time,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Isn't that
Exactly.
funny? But what is the 16 cookup? Obviously, I watched the live stream that you recorded put on YouTube, and I've seen you cook up. But what is it going into it? Like, what sort of mindset are you looking to be in? Do you gotta like set the mood, set the tone somehow? What is it? Or is it just like I just got inspiration? Let me open up FL real quick. Like, what does it look like?
I'd say like like let's say like if you put a classical 16 cookup,
Mm-hmm.
it's like I have to be in a state, like let's say I meditate before.
Mm,
And my best cook-ups most of the time where I'm the most open-minded are in the morning. Like
mm-hmm.
wake up at around like 6,
Mm,
meditate, and then it's just like nothing happened during the day, so your mind is still so free. So yeah, like I just have to, I don't have to be in a state, but I just like to be in a state. Like
mm-hmm.
that's when it's a typical cook-up. But sometimes my best cook-ups are the cook-ups that I don't want to cook up. And then I just fuck around and something happens. You see?
Mm. That's
It's
interesting.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's not always that I want to do it, but sometimes when I don't want to do it, then I do it, like something crazy happens. I'm like,
So
damn.
can you talk about that a little bit though? Because I think it's important for a lot of people to hear that are, trying to find their way in music. And because a lot of people listening to this, like I said, they're producers like who fuck with you heavy that are like, I want to get, a Southside placement and Dom Corleo placement. I want to
Mm,
they look at you as the blueprint essentially, and rightfully so. As I would if I was a producer, right? Um and what's interesting though, you said is like even when I don't want to cook up, I cook up. How important is it to just keep going, even if you don't feel like it? Sometimes you're like, I don't know. They're like, how's it important to push through that in your brain? Because I feel like a lot of people, especially when it comes to music or the creative arts, whatever, like they lack inspiration, they lack a sort of sense of whatever it may be of just like that
mm,
fire inside of them, and they're like, I don't know. But I think
mm.
anything in life, you need the reps in the gym, right? Like
Yeah.
is the easiest way to put it, easiest analogy. Like you need, if I'm ever gonna bench, let's say
Mm.
225 pounds, two plates on each side, right? Or I don't know what the kilos is because I know pounds is a thing very deep to the states here, but you get what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah, I get
never gonna
you.
do that without making sure I'm good at 100 pounds, and then I could do 150, then 200, right? You got to get those reps in. And I think it's the same thing with
True.
art. Like you have gotten better and better and better with every beat you make, in my opinion, from the beginning to now. Like the new shit I hear from you, like Cancer earlier this year on Trains to
Mm.
Kill Lifeless Garments, like wow, 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 wow,
Thank
wow,
you, bro.
wow,
Thank
wow,
you.
wow, 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 amazing. It's fucking just there's no words to describe the beauty of
Yeah,
that beat, in my opinion. So how important is for you to push through that and say, no, you know what, even if I don't want to, I'm just gonna fuck around, try to do something. Do you
I
you
think
find importance in that?
Yeah, I think it's very important because there's always like two sides of there's always two sides. You see, like art, it's like it's about creativity and
Mm-hmm.
inspiration, but it's also about skill.
Mm,
As long as you aren't good at what you're doing, like you can't really do the things what you want to do, you see?
mm-hmm.
So it's like it's perfect when you have those two things mastered,
Mm-hmm.
the skill side and the creativity side, which I think it's an endless process, you see? Like there's never an end to that process. And that's the fun side about it. Um but yeah, as you said, it's very important to
Mm-hmm.
just especially to be consistent, you see, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can be consistent for 1 month and the other months you do nothing, and the process will kind of be like, I don't know, kind of be gone, you see.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you do like maybe like a half hour a day of making beats, but you do it every single day, like for a year or something, you see, like you will show way more what's it called, like
Progress.
yeah, progress, yeah.
Progress. There you go.
So yeah, I think it's very important, and to be consistent. Consistency is very important.
Mm-hmm.
I think yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, consistency is everything. And I've said this a lot, but I'm always going to bet on the person who's going to show up every day, opposed to the person who doesn't, because regardless of talent level, too. If you show up every day, I just know you're going to get better, opposed to if you could be the most talented person in the world. If you make a beat, once a month, you sit down and cook up. Like, I don't trust that person as much. I do
Yeah,
not trust
yeah,
that
yeah.
person as much respectfully.
True. But to be honest, sometimes I would trust that person because it can be very well like be a thing that his mind is so free.
Yeah,
Like
that is true.
he might not have the most skill, but his mind is so free and not programmed where he would do like some crazy whack
Hmm.
stuff, but it
Hmm.
sounds hard, you see?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's finding about your own way. Like you have
Yeah, yeah,
people
for
who
sure.
are very technical. Like I'd
Mm-hmm.
say like Malikai, like he's the other producer from Belgium.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I've learned, to be honest, I've learned from him to be more technical and to be more like, I know I was on point before that, but I was kind of lacking. And he
Mm-hmm.
put me back into, yeah, you have to, it's a skill, you see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, this guy is very technical. Like he
Mm-hmm.
can do the best chords, everything. But he lacked a bit of creativity.
Yeah.
I mean, not creativity, but I'd say open mind. And
Yeah.
with me, it was the other way around. I
Yeah.
had a very open mind.
Mm-hmm.
I lacked the skill in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all about like styles, and yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah. And I do agree with you though, for the example I did use, just like go back to that. Like the person with all that talent, from just in the perspective I was going, like if someone who's not as talented just goes there and just makes the beat and just goes there and just tries to cook up every day, just tries to get a little bit better, opposed to the person who's super talented that doesn't, to me, the other person, like it just shows like their love for this shit, like they're willing, like I'm infatuated with the act of making music. And that's sort of like another uh factor I think is so important in this, and something that's been a constant theme throughout this whole conversation between us is your love for this music shit, like your love for this. And I think that allows you to just prevail as well. uh
Yeah, that's true.
mhm,
That's true. When you love something, like you will get better regardless. Like,
Regardless, because it's what you wake up, and you said it so good. You were like, my best beats sometimes I just wake up in the morning, and it's just like you wake up immediately and you're like, I had a dream, or I just had this thought, like
yeah,
I gotta go, like I gotta go cook up right
yeah,
now
yeah.
while it's
That's
still
true.
fresh, right?
That's true. And the thing with me, which is very like interesting, like, and to me, like, I never go like, I had a dream or this inspired me and now I make this.
Mm,
Sometimes it does happen with pictures. Like, let's say I see a cool ass picture.
yeah.
I'm like, I want to make something like this. But what is with me, it's like I'd cook up, and only after the cook up, I can explain what it is. What
Wow.
only after I can explain the music, which is a thing with me. It's hard for me to go, I had a dream and I
Yeah.
made with this I made this music. Like
Yeah,
some people can do it, but with me it's more the other way around.
yeah,
I made music and then explain it.
yeah. But yeah, not yet a dream. Yeah, but regardless, like you wake up though with that energy though,
Oh
whatever
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it may be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. That's true. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, definitely. But to your point, I think that's so interesting what you said, though. The fact that you could describe it after it's done being made. That's super interesting. I feel like some people try to describe what they're trying to make as they're making it. It's like
Yeah,
you don't, you almost don't like, it's the best way to describe this. You're
you're
not,
not free.
yeah, exactly. You're just simply letting your mind run rampant, go any direction, any way. And at the end, you look at the beat for what it is. You're very objective about it like
Yeah.
oh in a sense where like you didn't like yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting thing right there, honestly, to think about that. Yeah, because something I said earlier was like, do you make the beats with like when like Dom asks you for a pack or whatever it may be, and it's almost like I don't know, you kind of said yes, kind of, and not really, but it's almost like you just cook up, and whatever is just beautiful and makes the most sense to you, you look at it for what it is after and says, okay, this is a Dom beat. Okay, I'll send this maybe to Lifeless Garments. Okay, I'll maybe send it to another person. Does that sound right?
So how it is
Yeah,
was when
because
I
that
let's
is just a super interesting statement though what you said to me. Not to keep poking here at this. Yeah, explain that.
uh, how it was with me, like when I was making beats, I'd just like make music
Mm-hmm.
and then I just send it out. Like it's not really when someone asks me something like nah, it's just I cook up and the art just happens to go well with it, you see. But I
Mm-hmm.
do send it to the artists that I believe in. But it's like to me it's very difficult to cook up for someone. It's like damn, like I don't want to do this, you see. It's like
It's
I
not
just
natural to you. It's just.
yeah, exactly. It's not natural. So I
Mm,
just make music and the artist happens to go on it. But that's also a process of like me like sending, like I said before, like sending beats out. And even though like let's say like beats didn't get used from my pack,
mm-hmm.
I wonder like why don't these beats get used?
Mm-hmm.
Like what's wrong with them, you see, or what could have I done better?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's not your like quote unquote fault. Sometimes it's just I don't know, the artist likes another beat, but
Yeah, just it's just not. It wasn't meant to be. Simply was
yeah,
not meant to be.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Simply
Well,
wasn't meant to be.
that was really fucking interesting. I love the way you put that, man. Couple just quick questions for you. Who's your dream placement? You've worked with a shit ton of people, but who's someone you would love to get a song with that you just have not yet? And it could be anybody, someone in the underground, or obviously anyone is in contention here, even Drake.
Be honest, no one like yeah. It's like I'm not really was like a fan like of someone like oh I hope I like to be honest bro I kind of like went away from making beats and all that stuff and making placements. I still like of course I make music but it's like to me it doesn't excite me to be like oh I made something with this guy like whoa oh my god like placements don't excite me as much. It's more so the music
Hmm.
like if I really like someone or
Yeah,
this, that's
I
nah,
guess. No.
yeah,
I completely. I love that answer. Trust me, I love that fucking answer. I guess a better worded question would be: is there someone that you think is there an artist that you think you'd make like a masterpiece with that like you just heard and like you think if you guys got together in the studio, you two, and just talked about your artistic like vision for what you guys can make, you guys could create something, just
yeah. To be
stunning.
honest, I think that's Trent. Like his name is Trent Madison,
Trent
and
Madison, I peeped him. You definitely fuck with him. I listened to a couple of his things.
uh,
Pretty fire.
yeah, he's hard. And it's like like I actually a couple months ago like went on to work with him and in months in Vancouver
Wow.
and to work on music and yeah, like to me like what you asked me is like I got that with him. Like
Mm,
we work together and he's an artist. Like he's like, yeah, he's an artist. Like then it just works, you see. And yeah, I got there with him. Trend
All
medicine.
right, everyone go tap in with some Trent Madison. I gotta tap in more, man. I gotta
Nah,
tap in more for sure. You've given a shit ton of advice, honestly, but what's like the number one piece of advice you give a producer looking to come up right now in the underground? Someone who's listening to this, who sees you, sees what you've done, want to be in your position, aspire to be in a position like yours one day. What could you say to them?
don't try to be in my position. Like lock in, like tap in with yourself. And
Mm,
what I do, like you can do way better, you see. It's
hmm
like finding the peace in yourself and finding your paths. And once you realize how great you are as a human, it's very, I feel like I wouldn't say, yeah, it's everything is possible, you see.
hmm
And it's like don't look at me that hard, you see. I'm
Yeah.
just at the end of the day, I'm just a guy somewhere on this earth. It's nothing crazy.
hmm
I'm not the alien who comes from boom, boom, boom. So yeah, just focus on yourself and don't look at me too much. It's just yeah, it's just another distraction to be honest. If
mm.
you really need to go somewhere, then you don't have to look at other people.
Dude, the 16, the humblest man on the planet, without a doubt. I fucking love it though. But I do think there's so much value to what you said right there, though. And I think a lot of people should take note of that is trying to hop on a wave, trying to hop on a sound, or trying to, you know, just imitate. It's never going to work. Being
Yeah,
yourself, making music purely because you enjoy it, that's really the way you're going to see the most returns. Obviously, you didn't say that like straight out, right? But to me, at least, that's how I interpreted that. Like, I'm just going to stay in my own lane. Whatever I think is dope to me. And I think with your beat specifically, shit I never heard before in my life, really, most of the time, it's unique to you. No one else is making a 16 beat like ever. And it's
yeah,
even you could look up 16 type beat on YouTube, but like there's no such thing as a 16 type beat because it's only
yeah.
can come from one place, right?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
So 16, man. We've talked about so many things. I could talk to you forever, but tell the
Bro,
people,
me
man.
too, man.
No, really, tell the people where can they find you?
Um,
YouTube, SoundCloud, Instagram, all those other places, man.
can they find me? Um,
Because you're hard to find anyways.
yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Like what's
I
your
know.
IG handle, SoundCloud, whatever else you want to plug.
Shit, to be honest, I don't know, bro. I don't want to plug anything. Like, I just like this conversation. I'm just here
That's
for the conversation, and
that's fair. That's fair. That's
yeah. To be honest, I'm kind of sad, bro. Like this sounds like it's gonna end. Like,
no. I got one more question for you. I got one more
okay,
question for you.
perfect.
Don't worry, don't worry. It's just
Yeah, man.
because dude, I really could talk to you forever. Like, and the
Yeah,
thing is, this could be another hour realistically.
true,
Like
true.
could be another hour.
True.
Um, so 16, like I said, we could talk fucking forever, clearly. But tell the people, 5 years from now, 2028.
Uh,
What's the future look like for 16, right? Whether it be musically, personally, other ventures you plan to partake in.
mm,
What does it look like? Paint a little picture, man.
be honest, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I just know where I want to be now, and that's all I'm thinking of. You see, like life can it can change so quick, things happening. So 5 years, like it's a long time, and
Very, yeah, it's a tough question. It's a tough question. I know.
it's yeah, it's more so like I don't there's no like not to what's it called? Like there's no point in thinking about it, you see.
Of
I mean,
course.
there's a point like doing like making sure your future is right, but like you can never know what happens. Like maybe tomorrow I'm going to like I'm gonna live in Thailand. Like who knows, you see? Like
Yeah.
you never know which opportunity comes or
Yeah.
this or that. So yeah, man, to be honest, I'm just thinking about now,
Yeah.
where I want to be now, and whatever is in 5 years is in 5 years.
Yeah. No, I love that. Could you though, like, how about this?
Mm,
How about this? Like
okay.
in the next few years, right? Whether it be 2, 3, 4, 5 years, like where do you see yourself doing? Or I guess doing is not the best thing to ask. I guess what do you what do you envision for yourself I guess. What would
Okay.
you like? Like, what would you like for yourself when it's all said and done? What would you like for yourself personally? Again, can be from a music perspective, all whatever it may be, just your life. What would you like to see? Just sort of paint a picture, right? Like the first page
Yeah.
of that book of the Life is 16 to be. It's
It's
not going to
just
be perfect, but what do you envision for yourself?
I'd say a master of life, to be
Mm,
honest. Like knowing myself, knowing the people around me, and just being able to express myself to the fullest, whether it's through music or whether it's just like through communicating with people, you see? Always wanting to show my real self and always wanting to push myself, whether it's in music, whether it's in, I don't know, boxing, like who knows?
boxing? Are you
I,
a
I'm just
boxer?
I'm I'm just summing things up, bro. But you see, it's like I just I'm just in love with pushing myself, you
Hmm.
see, and it's in all aspects of life, like mentally, physically, spiritually. Like I just want to evolve, you see.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that's where I see myself for sure. Like that's what I'm working on right now, to be honest. And yeah, as far as music, I'm just building up my own career, to be
Hmm.
honest. Not really looking for placements or looking for this or this. Like I just want to like put out the music that I want for real and be my own artist. And yeah, that's just what I'm keep doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. I'm 100% behind all those words, man. Really. Keep
Yeah.
pushing yourself, keep getting better. It's all you can do at the end of the day.
Yes.
16. Any
Hmm.
last words? Closing statement. Floor is yours for the people out there. Anything you want to get off your chest, go for it.
I'd say mm, be open to fail.
Mm,
That's all I wanted. Just like failing is the best thing that can ever happen. So whenever you fail, yeah, just make sure that you're in situations where you fail. Like that's the fastest way where you can grow, the fastest way to evolve with whatever you're doing. So I just say that be open to fail and of course believe in yourself, believe in what you want, believe in your vision. You know you can do it. And don't look too much at other people. Don't look too much at me. Like it's I appreciate it if you listen to the interview a lot, but tap in with yourself, interview yourself, you see. Know what you want from the deepest of your heart, from your soul, and yeah, just go on your own path, explore.
16. Real fucking words right there. Make sure you take the time, explore your mind, explore what you like, what you're passionate about, what you get excited about, and
Yes.
be open to fail, man. Be open to just fall flat on your fucking face. That's the only thing, that's the only way you'll learn anything. It's the only way you'll actually get better. 16, man. Thank you so much for coming on the pod today. You dropped like billions of gems for everyone out there. It's been so great to get to know you, and this is your first interview actually. That
So
you told me. So to have the people get to know a little bit more behind J'adore 16, I think is amazing. So again, thank you so much, man. This is amazing, really was.
thank you, bro. I loved it as
And
well.
likewise, brother. And to everyone listening to the Expressions podcast, thank you very much. And until next time.